Welcome back, Math 90. If you did try number 3, here are the answers. If you didn't, look and see what I did. I underlined the perimeter of the square because that's the formula that we need. And that was formula number 3 that I gave you. P equals, or perimeter equals 4 times a side, because we know a square has all sides equal. So each of these is the same, even though it might not look like it on my kind of lumpy drawing. So then I took my formula, P equals 4s, and they wanted me to solve for the side of the square, or s. So if I have P equals 4s, I need s alone, like we've been doing. So I need to get rid of that 4, and it's being multiplied. So I need to divide both sides by 4. That's what I did in the blue. So these 4's cancel. S is alone, and that leaves me s equals P divided by 4. And that's what they want. They want the side, or whatever you're looking for, that variable on one side, and every other piece of the formula on the other. And so now we have this piece, we can find s. So I know s is 29. I know P is 29. I'm plugging that in for my perimeter. And I'm just dividing it by 4. 29 divided by 4. If you punch that in your calculator, you're going to get 7.25. So we know that all sides of the square, or s, is 7.25 m, because I'm in meters. So 7.25 meters. You can write that out, or just put m if you want. Okay, did you get that one? I hope you did. If you didn't, look back at what I did. Look back at the video, and hopefully it'll sink in. If not, let me know if you have any questions or if you're having any trouble. So I'm going to keep going to page 3 of the handout. And this one's a little bit different. It's an interest problem. So we're talking about interest. And let's see, interest. So formula for interest. I think that was the very first one I gave you. Since this problem involves interest, or the big I, what formula can we use? Well, we can use I equals P times R times T. And remember, P is the principal, how much we invested, R is our interest rate, and T is the time. So let's write out all the pieces we know. Let's see what they're giving us. 8 years, that's the time, right? So they're giving us T equals 8. And I know the big I, or interest, was $1,500. And I know the interest rate, or R, is 0.05. And I don't know P. That's what we're looking for. Okay? This just helps me, like when I'm going to go and do part C, it helps me to know what each piece is equal to. So I'm just getting that from the problem. I'm just getting all that information from the problem and writing it down. So T is 8, My interest earned is $1,500, and my interest rate in decimal form is 0.05. How much did he put away in the bank or invest is the big P. So again, like we did before, I'm going to write the formula down. I equals PRT. We want to solve for P. So we want P alone on this side, everything else over here. So I need to get rid of R and T. And even though we don't see it, what's happening between P, R, and T? What operation is there? Add, subtract, multiply, divide. We are really multiplying, so we want to do the opposite of multiplying, and we want to divide. And like I did with the problem before, I'm going to divide by everything that is not P. So I'm going to divide by RT because I want P to be alone. So I'm dividing out by R and T. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So these R's cancel, these T's also cancel out or get divided out. And so P equals, what's left? I divided by R times T. If you want to put a dot in there to know, so you would know it's times, that's okay. Is everybody okay with that? P equals I divided by R times T. So now for part C, I want to find P. Well, I know that P equals I. Let's write all this down. So P equals I, which is 1,500, right, over R, which is 0.05, times T, which is 8. Now, I'm just putting these in parentheses, these two things on the bottom. You don't have to. And then we're just going to throw all this in the calculator and see how much money did we invest. Or we could multiply 0.05 times 8 first and then divide by 1,500. However you want to go, however you want to go. So let's see. Let me get rid of that last problem. And let's see, I think I'm going to do it that way. So 0.05, and the point is below the 2, times 8 years, I get 0.4. So then I'm going to take 1,500 and divide that by 0.4. That was my R times my T. And I get 3,750. So that's how much money I put away at the bank 8 years ago. 3,750. So that is my final answer. I hope these are getting better for you. I really do. I want you to try the last problem 5. So this is the perimeter of a rectangle, and I know I gave you that formula. So I want you to try 5. Write the formula, solve for the height, which is h, and then find the height. So in the next video, I will give you the answer for number 5, and I will finish up this section.